Good day, everybody. My name is Amin Dayek. I'm coming on my own personal capacity as a member of AfriNIC. I've been a member since year 2020. We have IP resources and ASN from AfriNIC that has been assigned to us. I work with a company which is an internet service provider. Initially, all our concern with AfriNIC and all of our business with them was just to obtain our IP resources and use them on legal terms based on our SLA, pay our dues as a member, and participate in the annual grand meeting to cast our vote for the members that they are running for the board of directors. Year 2021, I got a phone call from a Moroccan lady who is not a member of AfriNIC, and she was working on the campaign of one member who was trying to run to reach to the board of directors. Under a vision of a basic and major term in any SLA that you encounter in the world, that if the services or if the resources assigned to you are used beyond the legal terms of this agreement or beyond this agreement, AfriNIC has the right to revoke the IP addresses. To me, this policy, to make it nil and void, it was not a straightforward mission. I felt that there is something fishy in this process. And that's why I decided to communicate more with them to understand better why is this happening. Later on, more people called me from Asian country, a single Asian country. They called me and they have been calling my attention to vote for the same very person. And each one of them was telling me a different story. Unfortunately, I don't have a record for that. It's only the lady that I have record for it. And the guy didn't pass through the elections at that time. After some time, they started to call me again in order to join an organization, which they have explained that this organization is trying to work for the best benefit of the resource holders and the members of AfriNIC. And they asked me also to sign a petition against AfriNIC, and I should sign a non-disclosure agreement with them, together with a document that is more or less, I'm giving them a power of attorney to sue AfriNIC on my behalf because I am not comfortable with AfriNIC. In fact, I was very comfortable with AfriNIC. I don't have any problems. But the measure of calls and the stress and the tension that they have created and the frequency of calls that they have been making and the emails, it made me more suspicious about their intentions and why they are really doing this. Because I learned from the member group and the member list that there have been a legislation against AfriNIC. And apparently, and based on my findings, which was very easy for somebody to understand if he gathers the dots, that they were working for the same organization that is fighting and suing AfriNIC in court. This, to me, personally, as a businessman, it was unethical to go with them against the organization that they are the regional internet registry. AfriNIC is a body, it's an organization, it's a bottom-up organization. Members decide on the policies. If we have any problem with any policy, we can easily propose a new policy and we put it for voting in the annual grand meeting, annual general meeting, whereby all members meet, discuss, brainstorm, and vote. Not through petitions, through courts, not through other channels that will make the organization to appear very weak and in very bad position in front of the public. In my encounter, also I was called by different people from Nigeria, from China, from Morocco, from Europe, and there have been many offers on the table. One of the offers initially vote free of charge. The second offer that came is to join that organization, and they will pay every expense that relates to the court. They will sue AfriNIC on my behalf, and I have to apply, based on the agreement, I have to apply to AfriNIC to transfer my resources to RIPE NCC, which at first instance I thought it's illegal, and I still think it's illegal because AfriNIC is in charge of the IP resources of Africa, and RIPE NCC is not in the charge of the IP resources of Africa. That's where we disagreed, and looking back at their intentions, which were very vivid and unclear to anybody, I decided not to go along with them. Again, they will call and they will make another proposition that I should meet with their boss and we should discuss with the boss on a Zoom meeting. And I am confident and sure that they have been communicating with several members in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. During that meeting, I raised the concern of the legal concerns about transferring of IP addresses outside of Africa, about using those IP addresses beyond the SLA that is signed with AfriNIC. I raised also concerns about the legality of this action inside Nigeria, because in Nigeria we have a government organization that is legalizing all this process for us. In Nigeria, we have a government organization that is legalizing our framework, and we cannot go beyond that. And that's where I disagreed with them once again in the presence of that man. And during that meeting, I recall clearly that he was selling the idea of selling our IP addresses that we obtained from AfriNIC to other people who need it outside of Africa, that we are like, more or less, we are sleeping on a fortune. That if we have 2,000 IP addresses, we can sell each one at $40 in a year, and we can make a lot of money. This chapter closed, we disagreed. Later on, they communicated with me again. The third encounter was a different proposition that goes into the same channel. They said that as a member, I should join their organization free of charge, and they will assign to me a free /24 IP resource. When I asked about the origin of this IP resource, they said it belongs to one of our supporters, and they don't need it, and we can use it for as long as we want. I surely declined this offer, and they came back again with another proposition that they will give me the /24, and I will join their organization. And later on, they will continue to sue AfriNIC on my behalf, and during the election, I must give them the right of my vote to cast, so that they will cast the vote to the person running to be on the board of directors, which they prefer. Seriously, I have taken this as a breach of trust, as a criminal act, because why would a proxy influence my vote to a member to reach to the board of directors in AfriNIC? I declined that, and later on also they came back with another offer that they can give me between $5,000 and $7,000 if I vote to them. And they will give me more $5,000 for any member that I will bring to them, and this member should vote for the person running on their behalf, or the group of persons that they are running to be directors in AfriNIC on their behalf. Such amount of money is ridiculous. And such amount of money doesn't force us to sell our integrity and our dignity and our IP resources that they are meant for Africa to go outside of our region. And such amount of money, or any amount of money, should not influence anybody to go beyond his integrity as a businessman. The proposition also added that I will give them access to my AfriNIC credentials, so that they will log into the platform and cast the vote on my behalf, of course, for their nominee. They will cast the vote on my behalf so that it will appear as if I have voted. They will use AnyDesk, or they will use any other remote desk application, and they will log in from my system to cast the vote. Moreover, they added at that time that they will continue to invest in my company. Any amount of money that I feel like it's good for me to support my company to make more business. Later on, also like after a week or 10 days, they said that they want to buy 1% shares against the money that they're going to invest in the company, which is around $10,000. I just have to give them 1%. And of course, the right to access AfriNIC with my credentials, and they will have the right to vote at any period of time. I declined the offer, and I have taken it as a forgery and bribery, and I believe it's a criminal act anywhere in the world to offer somebody a bribe or to offer somebody or to make such offers to anybody. Going through the member list discussions, the group that's available, I have been seeing emails flying right and left in all directions from a group of people. Personally, I know their intentions because I have been communicating with like one or two of them. They communicated with me concerning this, and the group is well defined. Everyone knows the bad apples in our basket. Everyone knows them. Everyone understands their intentions. My message is this: don't fall for this. Don't sell the right of your vote. It's a democratic process. It's a volunteering work. A person is volunteering to be a director in AfriNIC to serve a certain term only. Don't allow them to control our region. Don't allow them to control the fate of our IP resources. I am very disturbed with what's happening and what has happened. And I feel like it's a great shame for somebody to put this on his honor and dignity and go with this plan, because no one knows where it will reach. They have tried to shut AfriNIC down. They have tried to get AfriNIC indicted. And most importantly now, they are trying to stop the election. That they are trying to pay money to influence this election and to influence the outcome of this election. They have filed against us as AfriNIC members, because when you are filing a case against AfriNIC, you are doing an injunction to all AfriNIC members. They are stopping us from the process of our democratic voting. So now it's a choice between either you do the voting with the influence of money, or the injunction is there and you can no longer hold the election. Members should wake up. Whatever differences we have, whatever variances we have, whatever issues we have, whatever remarks we have on the policies and procedures and everything, we should not lose the main focus: to survive and sustain AfriNIC and to keep it as a standing organization. Otherwise, we will lose AfriNIC, we will lose our IP resources, we will lose our dignity, and we will live with shame. We should not allow anyone to influence the outcome of this election. No one. It's a free will. It's a free vote. It's a democratic process. Why would someone invest such a huge amounts of money and bring nominees, and he want to influence those nominees to reach to the board of directors in AfriNIC? This is the simple question that we should be asking ourselves. Why? What is his benefit out of that? In the meantime, they are suing AfriNIC in the court. And suing AfriNIC, as I said, means that they are suing each and every member of AfriNIC. They are disrespecting us. Even though I have a very busy schedule, I decided to personally participate in this annual meeting this year, to lobby and to meet and to see our counter members, my colleagues in AfriNIC, and everybody else that I can meet with, to raise an alarm against this fraud and fraudulent activities and against this attack against AfriNIC. Because we have to wake up. As members, we have to wake up. I'm trying to meet with everybody and put them through my experience. I know and I am confident that there are many similar experiences that has happened in the African region. This is not the first time that I have been contacted, and probably is not the last time that I will be contacted for such thing, but it's a definite no, and it's a big no to them and what they are proposing and the way that they want to manage AfriNIC and the way that they are treating AfriNIC and AfriNIC members. Thank you.